Today we're going to prepare for lesson 3.6 of our geometry BJU textbook. This lesson is about segment constructions. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we are prepared to make segment constructions. So we're going to review a few things. So we want to be able to develop good skills on how to make constructions, to make them neat and orderly and make them look good. So the lessons, at the end of this lesson, you are going to be able to construct a copy of a segment and then construct the bisector of a segment. So those are the things that you're going to be actually doing. But for right now, we're just going to learn how to do those well with good skills. So to review, a sketch is a freehand picture just with a utensil, such as a pencil, whereas a drawing is made with the use of tools, and a construction is with only two instruments, a straight edge and a compass. So when you're making a construction, you want to make sure that your compass pencil and your free pencil are very sharp. They don't want to be dull because you don't want your lines to be too thick because that makes them a little bit off. You want your lines and compass marks, you want them to look like eyelashes on the paper. You want light marks that can be erased if necessary. The hardest thing is if you make a mistake and you have to erase it, but then you leave a mark where you erased, it's hard to tell what your final project is. So you want to make sure you're making light marks, because the reality is that as you're doing this, there's a learning process. So you are going to be erasing quite frequently. So you want to make sure you have a good eraser and that you're making light marks. So that way that if you have to erase, you can erase them. However, not so light where you can't see them either. So there's a balance there that you're only going to be able to figure out with good practice. So be neat. You want to make sure that you're doing this slowly and carefully. You want to make sure that everything's being aligned and that they're passing through the correct points. Don't use dots for points. The marks of the compass where the arcs cross, those are your points, and they're adequate and much neater versus if you make a point and you use that as a point. So those are your guidelines for constructions. So go ahead and attempt the first couple of problems in this lesson, and when you come to class, be prepared to make these constructions.